Hey everyone, let's talk about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. The novel is set in 1971 and describes a trip Hunter S. Thompson takes to Las Vegas with his attorney to cover the Mint 400 and a conference by the district attorney. And yeah, that's what's happening, sort of. The whole novel is written in something that's called gonzo journalism, which I think Hunter S. Thompson has started and basically shaped. It's a style of journalism where objectivism is not really important. The journalist also puts himself into the report and everything is first-hand and very subjective. This is the first novel of Hunter S. Thompson that I've read, and I wasn't really sure what to expect of his writing style. I had seen the movie when it came out and I knew it was going to be something crazy. And I was very surprised that the writing style in itself was not so crazy. It was very easy to follow, it was nice to read, I could fly through the book, and I really appreciated that. Now when it comes to what it's talking about, Hunter S. Thompson and his attorney are basically on over a week-long drug trip. They take all kinds of drugs, you get a list of all the different drugs they take, and you get a description of what it does to you and how that makes them see the world, which is rather interesting for people who take drugs, maybe not, but for people who haven't taken any and want to find out like what it might feel like. You get an idea here. But if you're really not interested in any of the drug crazes that they experience, I wouldn't pick up this book because that's basically what happens. We have a lot of events going on in Las Vegas with the Mint 400 that he's trying to cover but basically fails to even remember. And at the district attorney's conference all about drugs and narcotics, they're basically bored because they know everything better than all the cops that surround them. Apart from those two events, Hunter S. Thompson and his attorney are also looking for the American dream. And I think they somehow found it. And overall, this whole novel is sort of a combination of reporting on the trip, reporting on what drugs do to you and how the world looks with drugs and what kind of drugs do what. And it's also a comment on like where the world is at the moment in 1971 and what the American dream is, who's following it still and where to find it. Overall, this novel was a very interesting read for me. I really liked the pacing, I really thought the writing was interesting, the things that happened and a lot of name dropping and a lot of things that were important to the world in the early 70s were very interesting to see from his perspective and point of view and get his take and comment on it. But overall, I really don't know who to recommend this novel, because now it's 2014 and I think all the political stuff that's in there, you might get it better somewhere else where you have an objective report and not just a subjective comment. When you're not really interested in drugs, this novel can be really tedious and boring to a point, or just annoying. My copy also has some illustrations that might give you an idea of what to expect when reading the novel. Now, I also wanted to rewatch the movie, but my rental place didn't have it, so I need to check for it somewhere else. But I really am interested in reading more by Hunter S. Thompson because I did like his writing style, despite the things that he talks about are rather weird and crazy. But I never mind that. And I'm also curious to find out what you think about Hunter S. Thompson. Have you read him? Do you want to read him? Have you seen the movie adaptation of this? Let's just talk about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.